Is an E-2 visa good for 5 years or 2 years? This is a very common question that we get at the firm, and I'm going to address this today. Again, E-2 visa is a great way to come to the U.S. and invest in your United States business. My name is Dan Nast. I'm an immigration attorney with Orlando Visa Lawyer, which is an immigration law firm that provides services across the entire United States. And today we are going to discuss a question we frequently get. Is an E-2 visa good for 5 years or 2 years? There's lots of confusion about this, and frankly, I'm going to try to clear that up today. So there's two different processes, let's say, for an E-2 visa or E-2 status in the United States. I'm going to go through what's called a change of status, and then I'm going to discuss consular processing, which is going through the embassy. So a change of status is when someone comes here on a valid visa, and while on that valid visa, they change status to a different visa or a different immigrant status, or pardon me, non-immigrant status in this case. So when someone comes to the U.S., there are certain scenarios, if they're already here and is valid, they can change their status to that of an E-2 investor. One way of doing this is through a regular B visa, or tourist visa. So if someone's here on a B visa and they change their status to that of an E-2 investor, their current stay in the United States, the status of that stay is changed from tourist to E-2 investor. Now, typically what happens is USCIS will grant that person up to 2 years of a stay as an E-2 investor. What are the benefits of this? Why would someone want to do this? Well, it can be quicker. You can get it quicker. A lot of times there's some delays at the embassy, so people come on a tourist visa, change status to E-2, they get it quicker, there's premium processing that's available, and they're able to start working on that business quicker because they're approved quicker. What are some disadvantages? Well, the main one is it's the status of your stay. So once you leave, it's over. So yes, the government may say you can stay here for 2 years as an E-2 investor. Your status has been granted as an E-2 investor for up to 2 years. But once you leave, that's over. So if you're granted 2 years and you leave after 6 months, you no longer have the E-2 status because you left. And that stay you came in as, or that stay that you applied for the change under, is no more. Right? I guess a good way to look at it is when you come on a tourist visa, you may be planning only to stay for 2 weeks, but the government will typically say, oh, you can stay for 6 months if you want. But then after that, you need to leave. So that's really a difference. If you leave, it's done, and you'll have to either come back in under a valid visa and apply for a change of status again, or the person would have to go through their embassy and get the official visa. Now, consular processing, the embassy. Going through the embassy will actually get an E-2 visa issued to you, and that visa will be good for up to 5 years. And every time you come and go, you'll be able to come and go then on that visa. Every time the person comes and goes, they will be granted stays up to 2 years at a time. So when you enter the U.S., they'll say you can stay for 2 years. When you leave, come back, you can get another 2 years. It's basically how it works. What are the advantages and disadvantages of going through consular processing? Well, that can be the length of time to get it can be a disadvantage because there's certain embassies that are delayed. Maybe they're not offering interview appointments immediately. There are different scenarios and depends on where the person's at. The advantages, you get that official visa, right? The person gets that E-2 visa, so they have more ability to come and go. So that's really the difference. So the 5 years, an E-2 visa that's actually issued by the embassy is good for 5 years. However, if someone gets a change of status or their stay on E-2 status, that's good for up to 2 years. So that's really the difference. Keep in mind, a change of status isn't really having a visa. It's just having your status changed temporarily while you're here. So that's the difference. Again, an E-2 visa is a great way to invest in your United States business while you're here. Your dependents, your spouse, Children that are not married under 21 years of age can apply to be dependents. The kids can go to school, the spouse can work. We've gotten these approved. We get these approved all the time. So if you're interested in E-2 visa and you want to see if you qualify, give us a call, email us, contact us through WhatsApp. The information is all on the screen. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation with you, review your case, and see if you qualify for an E-2 visa. Again, an E-2 visa has many requirements, so be sure to consult with an immigration attorney if you are thinking of applying for an E-2 visa. Thanks for watching, everyone.